Hey fellow Nevillers, here we are back again, day 18 I do believe. I've had my nose up in the law and the promise, specifically chapter 7, moods. In this chapter, Neville really tries to drum into our heads, our consciousness, how important our moods are. I'm sure you can attest to this from your own personal experience and journey. I know I can. I put myself in a mood quite a bit in the past, but now I'm in the mood of bubbly empowerment, joy, and it's going to happen. Actually, it's already happened because creation is finished. Let me share with you some of the smacks I received from Neville up in this chapter. So he opens it this way, my lovelies. He says, "This is an age in which the mood decides the fortunes of people rather than the fortunes decide the mood." That's a quote by Winston Churchill. Generally, I can admit to fellow Nevillers that we generally think it's our circumstances that put us in moods. But actually, it's the reverse of that. The mood you're in is going to create your circumstances in your future. There's a big hint in that one. Let's see what else Neville says in here. He says, men regard their moods far too much as effects and not sufficiently as causes. That line right there shows how we've kind of got it back to front. It's similar to the seeing is believing. When you meet Neville, you realise it's the believing, and then you see it. And right here, it's the mood that creates the circumstances. He continues this way. Moods are imaginal activities without which no creation is possible. Another big smack and reminder from Neville. No creation is possible without a mood. So watch your moods, my lovelies. He continues, we say that we are happy because we have achieved our goal. We do not realise that the process works equally well in the reverse direction. That we shall achieve our goal because we have assumed the happy feeling of the wish fulfilled. Yay! That's the mood you want to walk around with all day, fellow Nevillers. I've got it. I did it. I accomplished it. It's possible. I have done this. That's the mood I'm wearing, albeit, to tell the truth, sometimes we go up and down and we can't see the wood for the trees. But 99.9% of the time, wear that mood of success, or whatever mood of whatever it is you're trying to create in your life. A bit more here. Moods are not only the result of the conditions of our life, they are also the causes of those conditions. And then Neville tells us about an idea. This is important, fellow Nevillers. He says, an idea which is only an idea produces nothing and does nothing. It only acts if it is felt, if it is accompanied by an affective state, if it awakens tendencies, that is to say, motor elements. Motor elements is a movement within yourself, like an emotion, like a happy emotion, i.e. you kind of change from one state, say, for example, disbelief to belief. I'd call that a motor element because you changed within yourself. And this is the story I want to share with you. It's vibed me up big time into believing what I'm trying to what I am manifesting, what I have manifested because creation is finished. Neville shares a story here about a lady who felt her wish fulfilled so much. I think this story is going to give you some inspiration. Let's start it. The lady in the following story so successfully felt the feeling of her wish fulfilled. If you know anything about Neville and his works and his books, feeling is the most important thing. So, the lady in the following story so successfully felt the feeling of her wish fulfilled, she made her mood the character of the night frozen in a delightful dream. Most of us read and love fairy stories, but we all know that stories of improbable riches and good fortune are for the delight of the very young. But are they? I want to tell you of something unbelievably wonderful that happened to me through the power of my imagination, and I am not young in years. We live in an age which believes in neither fable nor magic, and yet everything I could possibly want in my wildest daydreams was given to me by the simple use of what you teach, that imagination creates reality, and that feeling is the secret of imagination. So here's the lady's story. At the time this wonderful thing happened to me, I was out of a job and had no family to fall back upon for support. I needed just about everything. To find a decent job, I needed a car to look for it. And though I had a car, it was so worn out, it was ready to fall apart. I was behind in my rent. I had no proper clothes to seek a job, and today it's no fun for a woman of 55 to apply for a job of any kind. My bank account was almost depleted, and there was no friend to whom I could turn. But I had been attending your lectures for almost a year, and my desperation forced me to put my imagination to the test. Indeed, I had nothing to lose. It was natural for me, I suppose, to begin by imagining myself having everything I needed. But I needed so many things, and in such short order, that I found myself exhausted when I finally got through the list, and by that time I was so nervous I could not sleep. One lecture night I heard you tell of an artist who captured the feeling, or word, as you called it, of "Isn't it wonderful?" in his personal experience. I began to apply this idea to my case. Instead of thinking of and imagining every article I needed, I tried to capture the feeling that something wonderful was happening to me, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. I would say over and over to myself as I fell asleep, "Isn't it wonderful? Something marvellous is happening to me now." And as I fell asleep, I would feel the way I would expect to feel under such circumstances. I repeated that imaginary action and feeling for 2 months, night after night. And then, of course, Neville shares how she got exactly what she wanted. Everything was given to her. She had checks donated to her weekly from some friend she'd bumped into, like a friend of a friend. When things happen in our reality, like instances or happenings, Neville calls these bridges of incidents. And those bridges of incidents for this lady, she bumped into someone she hadn't seen for years. That was an incident, a bridge of incident. And that person she bumped into somebody else, another bridge of incident. And then those two people that she bumped into, they talked and chatted, and then further on, later down the road, the lady received a letter from her attorney solicitor asking her to come in, and she received a check for $2,500, which is a lot of money in 1961. Heck, it's a lot of money now. Anyhow, the end result is she had so much money given to her by this person that had lots of money and just wanted to give it away. He wanted to be alive to see the joy on people's faces as they got that money. She got a check every month for the rest of her life. Personally, I'm using this story to manifest some things in my life, and I hope you guys find it useful too. You can find it all up in chapter 7, the law and the promise. The main takeaway from this chapter is belief, faith, and every night believe it's possible. This lady did it every night for 2 months. So commit to yourself, my lovelies, and I want to see your big fat accomplishments down there in the comments, and I'll share mine. Feel free to leave a comment, any comment, my lovelies, or a lecture reference, some love, some thumbs up, because I'm going to blow a kiss. And I'll see you next time, my lovelies. Bye.